엔진.
And they weren't born under moonlight or summoned by prophecy. ENHYPEN was forged in noise, in fear, in front of eyes that wanted them to fail. 7 boys thrown into a system designed to break them didn't just survive, they fed on rejection. They weaponized doubt. And in a culture chasing flawless idols, they became something else entirely. Unpredictable, relentless, and a little bit monstrous. A new bloodline had entered the scene. And it wasn't asking for permission. This is the story of ENHYPEN. Most K-pop journeys happen behind closed doors. Training for years in secrecy, mistakes carefully hidden, vulnerabilities masked until debut. But these 7, they emerged from a different fire. I-Land stripped away the luxury of privacy. Every failure, every weakness, every tear, broadcast to the world. There was nowhere to hide. No safety net, just the brutal truth of who could survive and who would fall. He sung, carrying the burden of being called an ace while teaching others. Jake, barely months into training, competing against those with years of experience. Sunghoon, exchanging figure skating medals for the uncertainty of a new dream. Jae, facing rejection only to fight his way back. Sunu, defying elimination through unwavering public support. Junghoon, the quiet force whose leadership emerged in the shadows, and Nenki, just 14, dancing with a maturity that defied his age. When ENHYPEN finally formed on September 18, 2020, they weren't just 7 survivors. They were 7 truth-tellers. 7 young men who had already shown the world their worst moments alongside their best. The perfect foundation for a group that would continue to choose honesty over comfort. The K-pop playbook is clear. Debut with something safe, something bright, something that makes you easy to love. Save the complex concepts for later, when you've secured your place. ENHYPEN tore up that playbook. Vampires, blood, rebirth, questions with no easy answers, choreography that pushed physical limits. They showed up not just with a concept, but a bold declaration. They weren't here to be another comfortable, forgettable rookie group. Then disaster struck. COVID hit multiple members weeks into their career, the moment when momentum is everything. The safe choice would have been to pause, to wait, to carefully protect their fragile new beginning. Instead, they emerged from isolation with something even more daring, a chaotic, disorienting exploration of fame's dark carnival. A concept that didn't just acknowledge their struggles but transformed them into art. When the world pushed them down, they didn't retreat. They dug deeper. The unwritten rule of K-pop: never let them see you sweat. Be grateful, be humble, never question the dream, never show the cost. ENHYPEN chose a different path. Their music didn't just celebrate success, it questioned it. Drunk Dazed portrayed fame as intoxicating yet dangerous. Fever explored obsession's dark undertones. Give and Take asked if their new lives were blessing or curse. Their songs felt like a confession to the world. When Thun spoke openly about health struggles. When Jungwon admitted the weight of leadership at such a young age. When Hee-sung revealed his self-doubts despite his ace reputation. They weren't breaking character. They were refusing to have one in the first place. In an era of curated perfection, their honesty struck like lightning. They didn't just attract fans, they built a community that valued truth over comfort, substance over style. Engines didn't just support their music, they supported their humanity. Success has a simple formula in K-pop. Find what works, repeat it, refine it. Build a signature so fans always know what to expect. Security over surprise. Simple, right? Well, ENHYPEN chose musical restlessness instead. Rock-infused tracks bleeding into hip-hop, hyper-pop experiments alongside haunting ballads. No safe retreats to previous concepts, no recycling of successful formulas, just constant, relentless evolution. Their performances followed this same philosophy. Every comeback pushed technical limits further, formations more intricate, synchronization more precise, individual showcases more demanding. Not because they had to, but because they refused to lower their standards. When Ninki executes movements that defy physical logic or the group achieves synchronization that veterans envy, they're making a statement about who they are. Artists who compete primarily against their past selves, always hungry for the next evolution. Most K-pop concepts last one comeback cycle before being discarded. ENHYPEN built something deeper, an evolving mythology that grows more complex with each release. The vampire archetype became their metaphorical framework for exploring transformation, physical change paralleling psychological evolution, bloodlust representing fame's addictive qualities, immortality reflecting the burdens of public memory, outsider status capturing their industry position. This narrative gave their universe a rare depth. Symbols from their debut didn't disappear, they evolved. Visual themes changed form but stayed connected. Each comeback didn't reset the story, it expanded it. Fans became invested not just in music but in unraveling this expanding universe. ENHYPEN turned every release into a puzzle, inviting audiences to dig deeper, make theories and connect the dots, and those who listened closely began to see a bigger design hidden in the dark. The greatest risk in K-pop isn't a failed concept or a difficult choreography. It's showing your true self in an industry built on fantasy. Perfect idols don't get tired. They don't struggle. They certainly don't question the dreams so many would fight for. Jae confronts criticism head-on, instead of pretending it doesn't exist. Sunghoon opens up about confidence struggles, despite being labeled visually flawless, and when disagreements surface between members, they don't mask it with fake harmony. In an industry obsessed with perfection, they're taking the biggest risk of all, being human in an inhuman industry by revealing themselves at their lowest, exhausted, frustrated, uncertain, not just their triumphs. ENHYPEN refined what connection means. They didn't offer fans a perfect escape, they offered something rarer, authentic reflection. This inspired a fandom that mirrors their depth. Engenes aren't just here for music drops or merch, they show up with purpose. From organization fan letters that speak to emotional healing, to supporting causes during comebacks, to building safe online spaces where people talk about burnout and self-worth, their actions echo the very themes ENHYPEN stands for. This isn't just support, it's continuation of ENHYPEN's most powerful message, that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. ENHYPEN's growth is rooted in both technical mastery and artistic ownership. Their evolution reflects a relentless pursuit of perfection, expanding vocal ranges, refining tone, and building confidence. As they've progressed, their contributions to writing, production, and performance have deepened, making their artistry an extension of their personal vision. Every technical improvement serves as the foundation for their creative direction and unique identity. ENHYPEN's impact is already shaping K-pop's new generation. Groups are debuting with intricate stories, rookies are embracing darker themes early on, and new artists are openly discussing their challenges and achievements. The revolution ENHYPEN sparked keeps growing. Every boundary they break creates space for others to push forward. Every risk they take motivates further exploration. Their story isn't over yet. It's unfolding in real time, driven by a commitment to artistic truth over commercial safety. From survival show contestants to industry leaders, ENHYPEN's journey shows that authenticity is more than just an artistic choice. It's the key to success. The fire that shaped them still burns, breaking through comfort zones and expectations. What we've seen is just the beginning of a bold, unapologetic story, still in the making. They entered the industry trial by fire. 7 individuals with cameras capturing every vulnerability. Today, ENHYPEN stands as living proof that the hardest path often reveals the greatest possibilities. The industry handbook told them to play it safe, but nothing revolutionary ever came from safety. With each vampire-inspired concept, each brutally honest lyric, each choreography pushing physical limits, they've demonstrated that authenticity creates deeper connection than perfection ever could. The question ENHYPEN asks, isn't whether you enjoy their music. It's whether you're brave enough to embrace their ethos. That vulnerability creates strength. That complexity deepens impact. That authenticity always finds its audience. The revolution they started, we're watching it unfold in real time. ENHYPEN dared to be bold. Will you? Which ENHYPEN song is your favorite? Let us know in the comments.